So today I got my largest order on TCGPlayer. I've been running a TCGPlayer online store for about 3 weeks now, coming up on a month on the 25th. Getting a 169 card order was a little bit shocking. It was mostly cards from the new set of Lost Caverns of Ixalan. This order actually took me quite some time to get through. I think about an hour and some change. I'm just now setting up my way I want to store my cards. So I'm getting used to going through my own storage and trying to figure out exactly how I want to make this process move a little faster. Making this video because all my friends, they keep telling me content. I'm not the biggest guy that wants to hop behind the camera and show my face to everybody. I like to be to myself, but content is king and you got to do it. So here I am just putting together some of these cards. I spent the day after doing this trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to ship 169 cards. What I did was I went and got one of those bubble envelopes and I took cards from the order and I split them into 3 separate piles. I took the printout papers from the purchase order and I wrapped them up in those, and then I stuffed them into the bubble wrap and sent them on their merry way. I also want to use this video to celebrate hitting 50 orders in my TCG online store. Pretty big accomplishment considering I don't really promote this at all. I've dropped a couple videos, but that's it. I put them on YouTube and I continue on. I don't really share them. I just want to show that you can make it very possible just from putting in the work. You don't really need to post online, but of course it will boost it and it'll take you to a different level. Want to run a TCG online store, I would say do the research. I've watched videos on top of videos on top of videos on top of videos on top of videos just to try to figure out how to get everything right. I pretty much started mine with just $250, and what I did with the $250 was I went and bought a booster box for the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Went and bought a booster box and a collector booster box. I filmed myself opening those. I posted them online. I took the inventory and I put the majority of it in. I kept a couple of cards because I played Commander with a couple of friends, but the majority of everything that came from those boxes went onto the store. I made my first sale on the 25th of November, and it's been every day steady since. I've had a sale, an order. Usually it's about 5 orders a day. Sometimes it can be 10. My method is I wake up in the morning, I get my orders, and I either email those to Office Depot or my nearest library. The majority of my orders are sent through a white envelope. I use a penny sleeve, a top loader, tape, and the receipt order, and I ship that bad boy into the customer. My saving grace for orders has been bulk. It's a blessing and a curse because it helps you to get a higher rating, but you're not really going to make money off of bulk. You're kind of losing a little bit of money, but the better ratings you get, the more your customers will trust you. And, making videos puts a face behind it, builds the confidence in the buyer. And again, I'm trying to make these videos to show you what it looks like from the ground up. I'm doing this with absolutely no experience. The most I've done selling is take it to my local gaming store and I'll sell it to them and they'll give me half the market price. And I just got tired of getting half the market price for stuff like Mana Crypts and stuff. I honestly wish I had started this years ago. I started opening booster boxes maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I got a friend of mine who got me into Magic around 2018. He pulled out his Commander decks and he's like, "Hey, have you ever played Magic?" I was like, "No, I have no clue what you're talking about." And we played it for a couple weeks and I still had no clue what was going on. But I stuck with it and I went and bought my first deck thinking it was a Commander deck. It was I think it was a standard deck. It was a 60 card Chandra deck, and he's like, "No, that's not a Commander deck. You gotta go and get this." So I went and got the Commander deck. And then I think my first Commander deck was the Amanatu pre-con. I had a rough time trying to figure out how to play that deck. So I think I scrapped the majority of it and I went to go build my own. I went to my LGS and I was asking, I was like, "What's a good starter deck?" And this guy, I think he told me to get a Nala, the wizard deck. And looking back, that was not a good deck to start off with because I had no idea what the legendary rule was. And I was just sitting there making copies of legendary wizards. And then my friends were like, "Well, now you have to choose which one you want to keep alive." I was like, I didn't know that was a thing. But not to ramble too much about why I got into the game or how I got into the game and why I love it. I do want to be able to take this business and multiply it and make it my single source of income. I won't say this is the hardest thing to do or the easiest thing to do. I've definitely had some long nights of pricing inventory. Plenty of nights I've been up till 2 in the morning and have to be up for work at 4 because I got to drive through traffic. Having long days at work, don't get back home until 4 at night. And then it's just back onto the computer pricing inventory because I got to get these singles up and I got to get them shipped out. I do plan to graduate from selling just singles though. I would like to sell just booster boxes at some point in the future. And I would like to sell more than just Magic the Gathering booster boxes. I want to get into more Pokemon. I want to get into sorcery. I want to get into One Piece. I'd like to get into pretty much anything that's profitable. Also, I'm taking the approach to put back in the same amount of money that I earn. I have already earned past what I've put in. I've made $350 now within 3 weeks. And so whatever I get, it goes right back into the business. I plan to do that for at least a year. And I know $350 in 3 weeks may not sound like a lot, but you also have to remember, I'm not promoting this. I've just now decided to start promoting what I do. And I wouldn't have if it wasn't for my friends telling me, hey, you need to create this content and you need to put it out so people can see what you're doing so that they can support you. Content is king. Content over everything. COE if you're a Joe Budden podcast fan. And the content doesn't have to be, top tier. I'm just starting, so I'm putting together whatever I can in hopes to reach somebody and reach my next customer and make somebody happy. I understand you have to make yourself as visible as possible. I was watching some videos from Pokey Any, I believe, and he said he did 10 to 12 TikTok videos a day. I don't know if I can do that. I don't necessarily care for TikTok, and I really don't care for social media that much to post at that volume, but it's definitely something that's worth a shot, and if it'll get me to where I want to be at, I'm willing to try it. To wrap up this video, I want to say if you're looking to get into this business, don't build an emotional attachment to these cards. They're just cards. I pulled an Imperial Seal out of a Double Master set, and I sat on it for a while because I was like, I could put this into my deck and I can play with my friends, and I sat on it when it was at $90. Now it's dropped down to $70. Now it's at like $61. I was like, why didn't I just sell this? Me and my friends don't even play at this high of a level to where I need to have an Imperial Seal in my deck. Or I pulled a Ragavan. And I said, I'm going to sit on this. So I'm going to wait and let it appreciate in value. And it was at $60 when I pulled it. Now it's down to $40. I have no use for a Ragavan in any of my decks. Just let it go. Just let it go, sell it. If you want it later on, just come back and buy it. By that time, you'll have the money. You'll have built the wealth. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I'm trying to get myself into the algorithms, meet new people, meet new customers. There is also a link to my TCG online store in the description. There's a link to my Instagram and my Twitter as well. Be sure to follow me. Let me know so I can follow you back. Peace.